Okay, well, let's see how that did. John, can you say something?
Something.
That just probably fixed it. I think let's get something from the peanut gallery. There
There
we
we
go.
go. All right.
So somehow it changed the audio input capture. Did you guys get any of the
Well,
music?
I mean, remember when I loaded up the Skype, my camera and mic were wrong because technology is our friend.
I mean, did you guys get okay, so you got the music, that's good. Yeah. So well, I guess we get to John, once upon a time we used to do fucking pre-rambles. And that was so the music was good. We just lost the intro. So anyway, so let's do it again because painting with Menoth John. Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Wednesday extravaganza. You know that you're here on Wednesday night because we're here for both of you, Legionnaires and Telkazar. Welcome to the painting with Telkazar and Legionnaires show because
And MD Scranton there too. MD Scranton's there.
Hey, MD Scranton. Hey, Matt. Good to see you. Glad you could be here. Welcome to the Painting with Men John Wednesday extravaganza. You know, folks, you can paint with anything, but something yada yada yada. I can't remember what the hell the beginning of the show was. But what?
I'm co-host John.
Anyway, so John. Once upon a time, when we had more than 3 listeners. According to my restream, we have 6 now.
Oh shit!
Nobody knows how that happened. We would start off this is a drinking show with a painting problem, and welcome. Yeah, by the way, the episode is called Ninja Batman because of course it is.
Of course it is.
A lot of this episode is going to be dedicated to movie review today. I'm going to tell you, we're going to start off. Usually we sell you the whole podcast, but only charge you for the last 30 minutes, which is the media section. We don't even charge you for that anymore because we don't even have a Patreon. Once upon a time,
we
had a Patreon. We used to pull back decent scratch, mostly because of chilly winters. Oh, yeah, we were making it rain. We were making it rain back in the day. Why? Because people gave a shit about War Machine and Hordes back then. And we
starting early.
And we hit when the iron was hot.
Yeah, true.
There was nobody doing anything like what we were doing as far as painting and stuff was concerned. It was we'll talk about that, Matt. We're gonna get there. You stick around. You're gonna want to hear this For those of you who haven't met MD Scranton, he's an awesome, great guy. He's a Buffalo fella. He's Matt from Buffalo, and he is on Discord. His logo is Batman, so it is. You're in for a bumpy ride, homeboy. So we usually started this show for I don't know 190 episodes or whatever it was back in the day, 180 something. Yeah, Batman Ninja. That's a thing. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We always started off with a beverage update, and of course, that too was an innovation of the Painting with Menoth John show. People
Absolutely.
do that shit all the time now. Beer Machine copied us. Let's be honest. There, shots fired. Anyway,
I mean, More Than Dice copied it too, but let's be honest.
More Than Dice took Painting with Menoth John's format.
Shock.
And their time slot. And their Patreons, and
I mean,
there you go. But we're just gonna move on from all that. So tonight I've been drinking for a while, so there you have it. It's gonna be one of those episodes.
Well, John, if it makes you feel any better, it was whiskey o'clock at work at about 9 a.m.
Yeah, there are certain days where we start off with asking if it's Negroni o'clock, and anyway, so. Tonight I'm having something. This is an interesting drink, John. You know, I like me the cocktails. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
And this is called a cold fashion. Now, an old fashion is properly made with brandy. Now, not everybody's going to agree with you on that one. Well, in fact, I would dare say, John, were you aware some people would fight you over such a thing?
I was not aware. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Got to be a little bit careful. The cold fashion is made with Mr. Black, cold brew liqueur, and whiskey. And in this case, this is a small batch 1794 whiskey. It's a delicious little whiskey. Hell of a value. And it is and Mr. Black is a less sweet version of Kahlua. So it's good. It's good stuff.
And definitely our your and mine favorite YouTube drinker and quasi bartender is a fan of Mr. Black.
Yeah, and have you watched Steve the Bartender?
I haven't actually.
Oh,
actually, I've seen a couple of his, but I was talking about, of course, how to drink.
I actually prefer Steve the Bartender right now.
Oh,
How to Drink lost me as a viewer. When I don't know if you saw the episode where he does like this matrix of a certain number of one alcohol and then another along this way, and he starts his show with a disclaimer that basically saying he done fucked up, and he got riggedy wrecked, like bad, like not okay.
I didn't see that one. I saw it was a longer episode, and I saw the Matrix. And I'm like, I ain't got time for that right now, and then never went back to it.
So we have, I think, on this show put out maybe 1 or 2 episodes that I felt bad enough about that I needed to do something about them. That episode should never have been put on his channel. I don't give a fuck if you are making your living from YouTube. You done fucked up.
Episode.
No, just walk away from it. Take that shit down. He was encouraging bad behavior.
Oh, that's not good.
And that is not. And I don't give a shit if you do start. If you have to start out your episode with a disclaimer, you done it wrong. So he lost me on that. Now Steve the Bartender on the hand. Let me tell you about Steve the Bartender. Steve the Bartender is from Australia, and he is a large gentleman. He's a good-sized boy. I mean, he's got that typical Australian build, like a frickin' house. He's like a brick house walked into the studio and started shaking drinks. And but he's got the most engaging little smile. I got to tell you, I got a man crush on the boy, and
check it out.
He's and he makes some delicious cocktails. He never loses control, and he never encourages a bit. I really love him. I highly recommend. Also, a fan of the Mr. Black. See, we came full circle on that, John. It took a minute or two, but we came full circle.
Which is funny because all that, and I mean, I'm not going to be a fan of the Mr. Black because I'm not a coffee guy, and that's okay.
That's fine. The interesting story, unrelated. There's going to be almost no painting tonight, folks. Just so you know, you didn't come tonight for the painting. There's going to be some sketching, whatever. You're not going to learn much, like you ever did anyway. But I went down to Binny's Liquor in Gurnee, Illinois, which is just south of the border. I was going down for an equipment test on a coffee grinder, and I came back and I stopped off at Binny's, which is like Mecca for booze hounds, and because I needed some Mr. Black, and I will tell you there's some magical shit down there, and I got me some Mr. Black because it's the only place I can get it. Also picked up some Smith & Cross overproof rum.
Oh, a lot of those fun cocktails want overproof rum.
Yep. This is 113 proof.
All right.
It is a serious business rum, and I will tell you, it's delicious. It is the best. So I'm a fan of the Plantation 5-year. It is as tasty as 5-year. It's just got a little bit more burn to it because it's significantly higher booze.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So, I agree with you. Hey, Rich. By the way, for the record, the best rum you can buy anywhere is Flight Mechanic rum. Flight Mechanic Distilling. They do a fabulous job. You know, they're going to give you the whole bottle, but you're only going to need the cork because that's their logo. No, it's not. It's not remotely their logo. Their thing. But there you go. So yeah, hey, look at all these. Our viewership is up to 8 right now. It seems like I don't even understand what's happening. John, are we experiencing a renaissance? Is that happening right now? Is that happening?
It's possible.
So that's what I'm having. I have a cold fashion. We're focusing on the Mr. Black coffee liqueur, and the small batch 1794. John, are you having a force blow?
I am not having a force blow. I had one last night, and it was a little heavy on the Kraken.
There you
Like I
go.
said, Ron critted on that one. So I'm actually having an Irish Mule made with that aforementioned before you guys were on Guinness Jameson, that Banyan cracked open for tonight.
Sure, big Gora. You're having it's an Irish drink on. I believe it's a Scottish drink on St. Pat. St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Scotland, didn't it?
I don't know.
Drove those snakes right into Loch Ness, I think he did. There you go. He's got to feed that monster. Anyway, so I'm just doing that to piss off the Scotch. We haven't had anybody from Scotland watch this show in so long. God, remember Sarah Jane?
I do. I see her occasionally on Facebook or something.
Here's to you,
But
Sarah
anyways.
Jane. Hey, Ron.
Ron.
Ah.
Oh.
And we're having a
that's good.
feel okay out there in the chat room to talk about rum. Rum is a fine thing to talk about. Rum is delicious.
If I run out, I've got some of this. It's not great, but it's pretty decent. This Captain Morgan sliced apple spiced rum.
Okay. There you go.
It's decent. It was cheap as hell.
Sometimes cheap as hell is what you really need. But John,
I like apple flavor. So.
John, I would it's not an expensive bottle of rum by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, rums in general tend to be pretty value priced for what you get out of them. If you can find it, find something from Plantation Distilling. I mean, if you can get Flight Mechanic, awesome. But if you can find Plantation, which has a lot wider distribution, their 5-year Barbados, I cannot recommend it highly enough. It will change your opinion of rums. It is not flavored. The flavor you will taste is strictly what's developed in the still and through the distillation process. It's a badass.
I'll see what I can find. I mean, I go to the local one right down the street, and their selection is not great, but they've got the staples, and always have something new for me to try.
Yeah.
And occasionally I'll go to the game store and go to the one next to the game store, and every once in a while I'll go to one of the bigger ones, but they're a little out of the way.
Sure. Now, for those of you playing along at home with the Painting with Menoth John home game, if you turn to your Painting with Menoth John members manual to page 13, and you'll notice the flow sheet that's on there, and you'll know that at this point in the show we talk about models that have been recently painted. And at this point, I usually share things that perhaps I have either started on the show and completed offline. We're going to Well, now it should be better. John, you want
How about now, guys?
Yeah, that should be a lot better. All right, so that should be fine. So this is so what ended up happening, John, just so you know, is that Windows updated. And when that happened, all shit broke loose. But anyway,
That's probably would change my Skype settings too, actually. It probably wasn't Skype, it was probably Windows, because Windows.
Yep. All right, so this is Yuri the Axe 2. Little story about this particular model. This was featured on Lost Hemisphere in the last week or so. This
awesome.
was, G'day Bloke, who you'll remember from the Lost Hemisphere's radios. He was missing a model, and he didn't have time to get it painted, so he reached out to me, and he used my model, which was quite an honor. Lost Hemisphere radio doesn't exist anymore, but Lost Hemisphere blog does. And there you go. I should ask him sometime if he wants to come on, because he's a good boy.
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
So this is I really like how this is, honest to God, one of my favorite models I think I've ever painted. The amount of payback you get for the you get for the amount of effort is really high on this one. I did complete another model during the week, a couple weeks. We were gone for a little while there, John.
Yeah, a little while. Last week was probably best we didn't try or 2 weeks ago because the technology problems would have been amazing.
Yeah, so this is good. This is Gubbin.
That's awesome.
This is another.
Awesome.
Well, you like him?
Yeah.
So I think his goggles turned out really good on this one. The teeth are cute, and the flames on his little dynamite turned out pretty good. I like him. This is another model that almost kind of paints itself. Guys, I can't tell you enough about a couple of paints from the Badger airbrush line, and that is the Envy Green and the Irradiated Yellow, which is basically what his skin is. I could paint that color all day long. I got to tell you, they're just amazing. Well, go ahead.
I have not actually painted completed too much in there. I've done the painting, but only this guy, my third yokai. I only had 2 coming out of my set I got, so I had to get a third and paint him up.
Now, what is he from?
Malifaux.
Oh, Malifaux. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, me and so not Brushhead Dave is still all ins on the Malifaux. We've been talking about that. He's not jumped on the Marvel Crisis Protocol bandwagon like most of the rest of us. And then my buddy, I guess I'll call him Airman Frank until he gives himself a good nickname. Is coming back to the area, so we'll get some games. As soon as this COVID's over, man, there's going to be games. You're going to be hearing about games. There's going to be stuff going on.
Cool.
It's going to be crunk. Is that the term? It's going to be crunk.
Oh, yeah. For white guys like us, yelling crunk is the best thing we can do.
There's crunk up in this beat.
Oh, my God. Are we going to be down with the bitches, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Lit. Okay.
We're going to be on fleek, I think is what they say. So, yeah. So I want to discuss something that's going on in the chat room right now because, somebody's
They're having conversations.
Somebody has to cover this because we might as well. So they're going to do another Kickstarter, it sounds like.
Yeah, they're all Kickstarters now. I don't think they're going to release too much. It's not a Kickstarter first.
Well, not for nothing. I'd rather have them do that than go out of business.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't like it, but I think if I remember correctly, they have a way for retailers to get stuff through the Kickstarter.
Yeah, they do.
So is okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
As long as my local stores can get it, is okay.
Yep. I did see that the next map that they're going to put out is actually pretty cute. It's got conveyor belts on it, which is going to be super fun. If you're familiar with a board,
be in motion like Robo Rally.
Yes. Yes. Which is, I was just going to mention that it's going to be like Robo Rally for Riot Quest, and because Riot Quest wasn't enough fun to start off with, now
So
with conveyor belts, it's going to be crazy talk.
That's the one game I kind of regret not buying for myself when I was working at Alliance Games Distribution way back when. I bought it for my cousin. We were doing the Christmas exchange where you just draw someone's name.
Mm-hmm.
I got my cousin John, so I bought him all the Robo Rally sets. And they're like, "You overspent." I'm like, "No, you just think I overspent."
Yeah. So from what I've heard, some of the newer editions, like the Avalon Hill editions of Robo Rally, are not quite as good as the old school ones. I'm tempted to go onto eBay and try and find me an old copy of Robo Rally if I can.
Well, luckily El Marshall has Robo Rally, so as soon as this is over, we can just go over it home. I mean, we got to get you down here for a weekend or something. El Marshall's place is holy crap.
Y'all know I'm gonna be. We've got a job in New York coming up, and so I'll be spending some time in New York. And for those of you who don't know, John is within easy driving distance of York, Pennsylvania. And so that just it works out really, really good for us. We don't get a chance too much. Plus, I hear John Con is on this year.
I hope so. I have a new credit card ready for that.
If you could talk El Marshall into lending you Robo Rally.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I could.
And if anything were to happen to it, of course, I would replace it 100%. There's no question about that. But, so...
Take my pad and write that down.
For those of you who don't know what Robo Rally is, it's a really fun game. you're a robot in a factory that's got all kinds of mischief going on the board, and you have to pre-program your robot, and then everybody executes their robot at the same time, and so hilarity ensues because turns out people can't program in real time in their head.
No, not
even
so much.
Not so good. And so anyway, so there you have it. So that's the segment of the show that we like to call "That's What You Did for the Last Month."
Yeah. I mean, I put together stuff too, and I am batting well against some of these egregious tactical debris on these Marvel models.
Yeah, I hear you. Before we rant about tactical debris, I would like to remind everyone who's watching this to subscribe, like, smash the button, shit on the floor, get swifty, whatever you got to do.
Get
swifty. Punch a kid in the face or do something. I don't.
Everybody to the limit.
Yeah, to the limit. To the limit on there. Do a good job, and get on the hype train or something like that. Put hype in the chat room for extra bonus Menoth John reward points. So there you have it.
If you ever do channel points, you have to be Menoth John bonus reward points.
That's right. Every time an angel gets its wings, SpaceX launches a rocket. There you have it. Hype. There you go. See, there you fine. Yeah. Every time you put hype in the chat room, Felix gets a boner. There you go.
Wow. All right. Well, we're definitely acting our age.
Yeah, I'm 52. I mean, whatever. By the way, Beer Machine 716 once gave me the greatest compliment of all time, which is I'm the youngest 52-year-old he's ever met. He knows like at least two 52-year-olds. That's right. Oh my God, Felix's
all the hype.
Felix's boner is so fucking hard right now. Jesus Christ. We could split a diamond with that bitch. There we go. Who's psyched?
What's going on?
Oh my God! Anybody who's psyched about SN11, put hype in the chat room. There you go. That's what we're talking about. Oh my God! See that? I'm pretty sure this is how What About It and Lab Padre got started. They were painting models, and then SpaceX happened. So, for every 54th hype, Elon Musk will smoke a doobie. There you go.
All
right, so we are T-minus some number of minutes until we review the fantastic mess that was.
And you think shit got crazy now? Ha ha ha!
You know it's serious business when I take off my glasses and get these baby blues out, and we're going to switch over to the painting cam for a little bit, and I'm going to do a little bit of sketching work here. Now, folks, you know that this is a painting show with a drinking problem, or a drinking show with a painting problem, one of the two. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit of dry brushing, because I started off today, folks. You know, since COVID, John, were you aware, John, that there was a pandemic going on?
I mean, some people recently told me that was all false, but I was aware.
Did you? I mean, most people don't know what a pandemic is, so I feel like we should probably talk about that. That's when all the demics get panned, and yeah. So, so there's a serious respiratory illness. They call it the China virus, I think it's called, and so no, literally it's the COVID-19, and I don't know how that relates to dry brushing, but we're gonna find a way to get back home to that. So anyway, so I've got an interesting model here. This model here is not pronounceable by the English language. It's a Ysil or something like that. It is a Legion of Everblight model for Riot Quest. Okay, what's really interesting about this and really cool, and you can't pick it up on the camera. I don't think.
Karen.
Her name's Karen. It is now. So. Something bad happened to her. Half of her face is melted. She looks like Two-Face. On one side, it's all fucked up. On the other side, it's typical-ness.
Is that on purpose, or
that's
is that
on purpose? No, that's on purpose. And it's super cool. And I didn't realize it until I was over at LostHemisphere.com, and G'day Bloke actually featured this particular model on Lost Hemisphere. So I am going to. Someone painted a model for him. It might have been him. I think that the G'day Bloke might play the Riot quests. But so what I'm doing here, folks, John, I feel like I'm explaining zenithal shading for the 433rd time on the show, but I'm going to do it again. Is that you start off with a black primer, and you go ahead and after the black primer is good and dry, you come back with a very light color. In this case, I choose to do a light gray. And then you come at it at a 45-degree angle, and you use that to pick up the highlights. And it basically pre-shades the model. Now, that's super fun and completely awesome and all that kind of good shit. But if you really want to make your life easy, and John, can you name 3 people who don't want things to be easy? Because I can't.
I'm not gonna, but I can name a couple.
You can name a couple, and that's fine. Elon Musk. He doesn't want things easy. He wants things on Mars, and that's not easy.
Mitch McConnell?
Mitch McConnell doesn't want anything easy. He doesn't know what to do with any of that shit. Did you know his wife's a crook?
Here's my shocked face.
Yep. Anyway, so so when you come back here now, the thing you gotta dry brushing is an underused and underappreciated technique.
Word.
And by underused, I mean it's used by everybody, but maybe not correctly. And what's awesome about it is that when you use zenithal shade, you get a lot of that pre-shading done. But and what you can do then with, you take a solid white, like I'm using Moro white, which is basically pure white. And what I'm going to do here is, even on the side that the light is not necessarily hitting, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to give it the business, John. Can you? I don't know if I can count the number of times I've given models the business on this particular show, but it's been a lot over the years.
And it's been a while, I think, since you've given a model a business. Mostly we're just beefing right now.
Man, that's a callback, and that is the sign of professional podcasting, John.
You're welcome.
I'm giving it the business, and I will beef this model later on. There's no question. I mean,
so few models go nowadays without me giving them the beef.
I beef. Let me tell you, this model right here, as good as it looks, there's so much beef on it. Holy shit! Yeah. I beefed all over that model. And we're gonna give it the business though at first. Now you'll notice that if you look at this, you're gonna say, first off, look at all that detail.
Yeah.
So much detail. And the reason that you're saying that is because I've given it a little bit of the business. And the business brings out that detail such that when it is that model's time. And we only beef on a model when it's the right time. That I'm going to give it the love of a very thin glaze of paint. And when you give it the business like that, then it can accept the love of the brush. Much like the snake. You know, you see the girl take the love of the snake. You see the model take the love of the brush. And it is going to cut down your work at least 33.43%. And if you look at this and you're saying, but it's already got so much detail, how could it possibly have more? Well, that's when you go and you get your whiting. But we're going to save that for later, John. We can't do all of the technique at once. We're going to take another model here and we're going to give it the love of the brush. I bet he knows how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. I do. And I will talk about that in next week's show.
I think he was talking about Mitch McTurtle.
Oh. Yeah. That guy.
That guy.
So I am really looking forward. Now, John, I will tell you, were you aware every model I have currently painted for Riot Quest, and there's a few of them, every one of them has been a ginger.
I recall that coming up on our last podcast. You're just on
Yes.
this ginger thing.
I went back and I checked my data on that one. I went and I checked all of my reports. I checked all my data sources. I did a SQL Server inquiry on that, and every last one of them is a ginger. And that is going to continue. That particular trend is going to continue because for those of you who are unaware of the Riot Quest lore, and there is lore, it ain't much, but there's lore, is that this all takes place after the Infernals can't come in and extract their pound of flesh, as they do, for their souls. And everyone knows them gingers. They ain't got
They
no
don't
damn
have
soul.
souls.
And that's why they're still here. So this is a technique. In all seriousness, the dude in the zenithal shading and using a thin glaze of paint, it's going to increase your speed of painting more than you can possibly imagine. I mean, Yuri took me maybe a couple hours to paint. And I would say before this technique, before Seth Watkins came to John Con and showed me the light, it would take much longer than that. So we're coming along here. We're just gonna, I think on tonight's show, John, we're gonna block these guys in. We're gonna give them the love of the brush, and they're gonna take the love of the brush. I'm gonna tell you what.
Absolutely.
And we're going to then switch over to our review of Batman Ninja. And the episode is going to be exactly as long as it needs to be.
Oh, yeah. So, John, I made a boo-boo when I last purchased some hobby supplies.
Uh-oh, what'd you do, buddy?
When I bought my surface primer, I bought gloss surface primer.
Oh.
Which probably won't be a problem because it's black and I'm painting over it.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, when you prime a model and you're looking at it...
I'll bet you that's a shocking thing.
Maybe a bit shiny here.
Hey, how is that doing for taking the paint, I'm wondering?
I don't know. We're going to find out when I paint She-Hulk here, but I need to do some work on her base first because she has, of course, tactical debris, and she's not posed such that you could easily get rid of it, so I just went with it. You know, a couple models with tactical debris is fine, adds character, just not all of them. So we'll see that soon. I need to, I'm going to get my Games Workshop Astro Granite Debris, I think it is, which is one of their basing paints. I do that to put some little bits around, so it doesn't look like it's just, hey, look, there's debris there, and the rest is just fine. Put little clumps here or there, so it looks like there was a battle, and there's debris everywhere, and there's little bits, too.
Yep.
I've done it on my other models to good effect, so. Unlike Wolverine, who's not primed yet, but I got rid of his tactical rock/debris, and he actually works pretty good like this.
Yeah, he does.
I think some of these, they're doing it on purpose so that you could easily take it off.
Yep.
When they can. Now, Sabretooth, his was not easy to take off. I actually had to cut his entire ankle and repose it, but
wow,
looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's really good considering you basically had to do major surgery on him.
Mediocre surgery. It's Iron Fist is going to be the one, John. Iron Fist. Holy fuck.
It's a problem, huh?
Yeah, Marshall and I are talking about how we're going to fix him. Because we both love Iron Fist. Iron Fist is a great character. If you read, like, the Immortal Iron Fist, if you care about comics, you want to get some comics, the Immortal Iron Fist is a great comic series. Holy crap. A trade paperback is mwah.
Can I tell you how nonplussed I am about painting Eris for the 4th fucking time?
I mean, no one should be excited about painting Eris anymore. I mean, it's Eris. She's kind of played out.
I'm. Can I rant for a second?
By all means.
You know, I get the fact that we're seeing the kind of the Omega days of Privateer Press. But come on, man.
Yeah.
There is more to this universe than Eris, Fiora, and some of these. and Gatsby. Holy fuck, do we
Yeah.
not need another version of Gatsby? Jesus Christ, please. We don't.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, they're for a while there, I feel like their fiction was solid, but it has gone to just it's just not
Does what's his fuck?
inspiring
Does
anymore.
CCAT even work there anymore?
I don't even know. I don't keep track.
I don't
of it
know.
anymore.
I don't know if anybody works for him anymore.
I haven't bought anything for that for a long, long time. You know, it's all good, but I mean, it is a little disappointing. It's all the same things again and again.
So this is what I don't know if you guys were paying attention while I was painting this, but this is where coming back and doing a dry brush with a pure white after you've zenithal shade really makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
When I come back over this with greens, by the way, paint exceptionally well with thinned paint. Like if I take a like an Iosian green or something like this and put over it and thin it properly, it's going to look amazing, and you'll be able to come back with it and pull up the highlights and stuff, and it's going to be great.
I wonder if it's because we can see more shades of green than any other color.
Maybe. Is that a true thing about the human eye?
Yeah, from what I've heard, it is the true thing about the human eye that you can see more shades of green than other color, which is why those night vision optics project things in greens, because you can see better differentiation of things.
Well, I guess that makes sense. If you think about why the eye would evolve the way that it is, being able to see something that's green and is therefore probably edible
or levels in grass. Because otherwise, I mean, if you don't see good differentiating green, grass becomes the ultimate camouflage.
Right, and there
And
might be a
then
bad
we
guy
get-
in there, and there might be a bad guy in there. Yeah, for sure. So, now, I could sit here, and probably the next step in any of these models would be to come back with, and we've got 7:41, John. That means we got 4 more minutes. If we want to do Batman Ninja right, we probably need 45 minutes to talk about it.
Especially with your plans, which I wholeheartedly approve of.
Because I'm going to read through that, and it's going to be like, then we're going to have a discussion about something that's going on.
I feel like you're going to read through it, and we're probably going to discuss what brought you to that point.
Yes, because there's a lot of things that are straight up lack context. And
It's funny that until the end, just because the end is so much, I was pretty much new. I'm like, yep, I know where he is.
Yep.
Granted, I'd started it like 45 minutes
Yeah.
before you or so.
yeah, so I think what I'll do here for the last 4 minutes that we have of the painting, I'm using air quotes, you can't see them, painting. With Menoth John, is I'm going to talk a little bit about what's next for these models. So first off, if you are a serious painter that want to paint seriously good-looking models, you need to own this product right here. This is called Daller and Rowney White Ink.
I'm actually glad you're mentioning this stuff, John, because I keep forgetting to get it, and I'm going to go get it right now.
Dude, I mean, guys, I cannot recommend this product highly enough. This came from Will Pagani. Will Pagani tweeted about this once and goes, "Where have you been all my life?" And he could not have been more correct. This is the only way to paint white if you are going to paint it with a brush that is not a dry brush. You can dry brush with this, but honestly, dry brushing with something like a Moro white works just good because there's more moisture in the ink, so to speak. It will smear a little bit more. You can get a better control of what's going on with a Moro white. But
what size is your bottle?
This is the 1 U.S. fluid ounce. It is 29.5 milliliters.
Okay.
You do not need more than that.
No, I was just checking to see if we're...
If there's a smaller one, get it.
No, that's the one that's there. It's not even expensive, but actually, since Legionnaire mentioned something, I'm going to take a look for that, too. Paynes Gray...
Yeah.
Are there watercolors? Must be an acrylic.
This is clearly an acrylic. It's an acrylic ink. And what's interesting on here is I didn't even notice this. There are icons on the side of this bottle, and it shows an airbrush. It shows a paint can spilling out, and then it shows a number of different brushes as well as pen tips. If you wanted to use it for like calligraphy, so it is wonderful stuff. And what I would do with this then is I would look at this model and I would start thinking about where do I want the brightest of all highlights to be, and I'd pick out things like the tops of these feathers, the edges of this dress, because what will be challenging, and I will probably come back and I will probably take some dark, like a Nuln Oil or something like that, and just darken some of the areas in between this to accentuate the light from the dark as much as possible before I put my first colors on it. Because the more of that kind of crap you do, the easier it's going to be to put colors on it and have it just like be done. You won't even have to play F around with it. Because some of these colors are like her dress is probably going to be some version of blue, light blue or something like that, typical Legionish colors. And those are not easy to wash real well. So you want something that you can wet blend, or that you can pre-shade in this manner, so that you don't have to go back and play fuck around with it. So there you have it. That's what's coming next. And I would rather spend time up front on doing this kind of work than having to play tons and tons of catch-up once I've actually got paint on it. It's just easier now.
You don't want to paint things my way.
No.
Which is paint, touch up, paint, touch up.
John, I think a lot of people have tuned in for tonight to get to where we are right now in this broadcast.
Oh shit, it's time.
It's the media section, folks. Now, I gotta change my camera here a little bit. Nope, that's not the camera to change. We're gonna change
John,
this.
let me tell you, this Irish Mule is very good.
Good for you.
It's the best mule I've had in a while.
All right, so
That counts the dark and stormy. It's basically just cracking rum mules.
I do love me a Moscow Mule. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, so far I've liked them all. Maybe the Mexican Mule might be my least favorite so far. Also,
Yeah.
I did an apple mule, which is basically you replace the lime juice with apple cider, and you replace the alcohol with something appley.
Okay. Applejack is always a good one for that. Applejack is not super appley, but it does pull a little apple, and that's nice.
I think you'd want something really appley, so maybe like an apple smash rum from Captain Morgan in the little circle. You just want the extra apple, because otherwise it's good. Like, so I did one with the spiced rum and apple cider that they make locally that's not sweetened. It's no sugar added or anything. And it was good. You get some apple bits, but you really hit more of that spice with the ginger beer mixing with the spiced rum.
Yep.
Which is actually very interesting.
Okay.
Anyways, that's not the point. The point is,
Here we go.
Batman Ninja.
So let's talk.
Also, you're welcome.
Yeah. So let's talk for a minute here, kids. I need to make sure I'm in. I want to make sure I'm in frame for this entire episode. I think the best way. So let's take a step back. So I get a text message, or I should say a messenger message from John on Tuesday.
Yep.
And he says, you're ready for Batman Ninja. And I had forgotten. Shame on me. But it turned out that I had time on my schedule. So I had plenty of time to get in front of this. And Batman Ninja is actually a thing that exists. It is it's on HBO Max, is what I think I watched it on.
It is.
It is a classic direct to video DC animated program. And
Legionnaires, we'll get there.
yeah, just relax. Yes, and that is the box art. And I went into it completely cold, and I do believe that that's the right way to do this.
Absolutely. I was told about it in sweeping terms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it negatively affected me, but it could. So
I am going to start off this review by saying I did not hate this movie.
when I posted that I watched it, I've been taking all my movies and putting them on Letterboxd so I keep track of it. I was uncertain what to rate it.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said, well, you don't have to give it a high stars. You can give it a low stars, but hit the like heart so people knew you liked it, but didn't think it was good.
This is the most adorable train wreck I have ever watched.
It is.
So, we're going to start this off, and I committed to John, and we committed to Twitter, that this is how we were going to review this movie, because I am going to start by reading the Facebook Messenger conversation that John and I had last night while this movie happened to me.
And keep in mind, he's about half the movie behind me, so I've already watched it, so a lot of it's fresh in my mind.
Right.
So he's going.
So this first comes at 5:22 in the afternoon. This is approximately 5 minutes into the movie. 5 minutes into the movie. My comment is, holy shit, John, what did I do to deserve this? Now, it takes a lot to pull that particular response from my mouth. But I will tell you with great certainty, I was unclear what I had done to John, to him, at this point, to pull this in. Because by this point in the show, somehow, Arkham Asylum had gotten sucked back through a time machine of dubious origin. No backstory. Nothing.
I mean,
cold.
Someone was just monkeying around and made a time machine.
I see what you did there, and that was hilarious. But the spoilers, okay, folks, this is spoilers.
Yeah, this is all spoiled.
This is spoilers. So,
and I don't spoils ruled it. You just need to brace yourselves.
yeah, brace for impact. By this point, a Terminator-esque time portal opens up around Arkham Asylum, sucking everything that is within reach into a time vortex that turns out the further you are from the center determines how far back in time you went.
And Batman was actually outside and went in to save the people he knew who were there.
Correct.
Because he's Batman.
He's a fucking hero. So, to which John replied, "Oh, you just got started. Wait until the end."
Oh, and you didn't even know at that point how right it was.
No. You were prescient beyond your ability.
Well, I'd seen it before.
My next comment was, this looks like it was animated by the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure team. So if you have not watched JoJo's, I highly recommend it. It's an interesting anime. It's
I class it a lot like this. It should be seen.
It should be seen. It is literally the most homoerotic mainstream anime I have ever watched, and it is amazing. It is way better than it ought to be, and it is super fun and very bizarre adventure. The art style during this portion of Batman Ninja is very reminiscent of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Very reminiscent. Notice all of the words I have just used. John says, and in the understatement of 2021, don't know how it's going to get beat. I think this one's got the record for the biggest understatement in 2021. It changes styles a couple of times. Per minute is what was missing from that sentence, John.
Oh.
Okay, so we continue on with this show. At which point, so I want to see
Batman's attacked by some samurai, and he kicks their ass because he's Batman. It's kind of cool fights.
Yeah, well scripted. Also, we're still playing the JoJo card. They're very cinematic style, off the hook. My next comment to John, and I don't have all the timestamps, which is sad. It doesn't do it the same way that, let's say, like messaging does on text messages.
Yeah, it's
Oh fuck. What the fuck, Catwoman's boobs. Now, Catwoman, everybody's in this one. Okay, folks.
yes.
Everybody's in this.
Even Bane.
Penguin. Somehow Bane. Deathstroke. Harley. Joker. Red Robin. Red Hood. Nightwing.
Robin.
Robin. Mon-Chi. That's
not Man-Bat. No,
no,
not
Man-Bat's
Man-Bat.
not in
No, it's a big. Deathstroke is the one that you're sort of like, huh?
Two-Face, Poison Ivy. Everybody's in this.
And of course, Grodd.
Gorilla Grodd was titular. How they got here. Killer Croc. Okay. Not everybody's in this. God damn it. Anyway, so,
and they introduce them all like a fucking it's a video game cutscene, and they introducing people. That part's really.
It's
odd,
Super Street Fighter.
Something.
It's Super Street Fighter, and I had a discussion with Belinda about this morning, John. From the comment of what the fuck Catwoman's boobs, because Catwoman has universally been played by women with athletic builds.
Yes.
Very athletic builds, runner builds, and not this one. No, this is tits on a stick.
Hashtag fan service.
Oh my God, the fan service is serious business in this show. Okay, we move on because we only have how long? We only have another half hour to talk about this movie, and we will need all of it. The next comment I make is this period animation period is period wretched period. Now, I just got done extolling the virtues of the animation style of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is, whatever you think of that show, it is fun to look at. It's super fun to look at. This show is super fun to look at until it isn't.
Until it isn't.
This show shifts between JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Miyazaki, pencil drawings.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
I don't know how they managed to greenlight the shifts in this.
I do, but we'll cover that later because I have a comment on it.
Okay. Next comment. So far, John has just been letting me roll with all this.
These are all within the same minute, though, because you can actually see the timestamp by clicking over them, and I'm mounting over them, and they're all
cool.
They're all about the animation, and the next one are all in the same minute.
So far, I would say that most of my objections have been stylistic, up to this point. Now we get into technical issues. Cannonballs don't explode. There has never been a time in history when cannonballs fucking explode. It doesn't happen, folks.
To be fair, there's never been a time in history when cannonballs in ancient Japan were shooting at the Batmobile in ancient Japan.
We're going to get to the Batmobile in ancient Japan shortly. Where the fuck did that come from?
Though, because I remember that scene.
Okay, we'll get there.
It's also technically a submarine.
It's a lot of things. Dude, it's a lot of things. John, it's a lot of things, and we'll get there. To which point you just respond, LOL.
And when I type LOL, I literally laughed out loud every time.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how you can tell it. Okay, you're looking at the web page.
I'm on actual Messenger on the web. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on the app. I type, "Oh, you're fucking kidding me. He turned Arkham Asylum into a Stampa." So what ended up happening here was Joker. Congratulations, I've reached 100 messages today on Restream Chat. That's amazing. Considering 6 people are watching this, I have good engagement.
That's awesome.
Oh, you are fucking kidding me. He turned Arkham Asylum into a Stampa.
He did.
Hype! There you go. So when the time machine that Gorilla Grodd creates goes back to feudal Japan, apparently, now it's been 2 years.
Joker's been there for 2 years.
For 2 years before
maybe
Batman
a little longer.
shows up.
He was a little closer.
Right, he was,
Catwoman was there for 2 years, so maybe 2.5, 3. Who knows?
Yeah, right, exactly. Once again, we talked about this. The closer you were to the machine, the further you went back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes you wonder how the machine wasn't infinitely back in time, but we're not going to address that.
I did address that. It's later.
All of a sudden, the pagoda that the for no explainable reason.
No reason at all. Well, it's explained later, but not well.
It grows giant robot arms.
Yep.
And can move. It is literally a stampa. It looks like one. It acts like one. It's a stampa. To which John replies, "Lol, just wait." I told you, John, this is going to be the greatest movie review we have ever done on this show.
Oh.
I go, it's literally a stampa. But then it takes a bizarre turn, John, because we hadn't taken a
then it takes a bizarre turn.
It was a pagoda. You're right. So wait. The Batmobile is also the Batjet and the Batcycle? Because I missed that part of the canon.
It was, because it becomes the Batjet, and then he gets the Batjet, and it becomes the Batcycle, because...
But wait. How the fuck did Alfred and the Batmobile get there? Because they were nowhere to be seen anywhere until they showed up.
Apparently they were there. Closer than Batman.
That's what Catwoman and her boobs said.
Yep.
And we're supposed to believe that. So that's what we do. To which you responded, "Lol."
Keep in mind at this point, I'm still watching the climax to the movie while he's watching the beginning.
Mm-hmm. My response my next message after that was honest to fuck. Followed immediately by armored Batman. Yeah, armored Batman. Because
the motorcycle turns into power armor for Batman.
Right.
Like it does.
John sends one of the most chilling messages of the entire night. Oh, you're only in Act 1. And I didn't know how right he was. I had no idea. Okay. I then, generalized, how the fuck did this get green-lighted? My response after watching the whole movie is how could this not have been green-lighted?
Yeah.
But at this point, your response is going to become a running theme of the explanation of how this show exists.
Yep.
Cocaine. It's the only answer.
It is. Giant mountain of cocaine.
Okay, so which I was willing to accept at this point. Now, remember, folks, this is part of the Stampa scene. The pagoda.
This is past the Stampa scene.
It
is part of the Stampa
No, it's part of the Stampa scene. Because what happens next? Wait. What the fuck? Where did the Bat Ninjas come from? Literally, all of a sudden, without warning, there are Bat Ninjas. They look like Batman. They're ninjas. And there's quite a few of them. Remember, Batman only showed up on the scene like a minute and a half ago. And now there are Bat Ninjas. Because we knew that Batwing and the rest of the idiot crew was there, and we knew that they were closer to the time machine. Apparently they had time to organize. Bless their hearts. Oh, for fuck's sakes, he was foretold. Are you kidding me? Because there is literally a scene in here where they talk. They're going through with using an entirely different art style.
Yep, they change art because he gets away. They help him escape, and then boom, this is our land. And
there's like exposition happening, and apparently there was a legend of a Batman that would come and free people from the tyranny of the Thing, and
it's the most low rent explanation in this movie.
It's super low rent, and not necessary. And dumb. To which you, once again, respond, lol.
Of course. I mean, at that point, because you're right.
At that
You know?
point, I had an epiphany, John. John, you know I'm well known for my epiphanies. People who have been
Yep.
a long time watchers of the Painting with Men off John Wednesday night and Sunday night extravaganza back in the day know that when I have an epiphany, shit's about to get loose. At which point I decreed this is going to be the greatest movie review we have ever done. And I think we're well on our way to fulfilling
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay. Which John then braces me for the upcoming impact by saying, look, you only got an hour more of this. Oh, yeah. To which point, once again, cat boobs come across the screen again. The fan service is off the hook.
Yeah.
Everyone who should just be an athletically built female in this show has got the fan service boobs. There are certain animes that just make me uncomfortable to watch. I will say that the Arpeggio of Blue Steel, which is about sentient submarines and battleships in Japan, which is, I love that anime, but sometimes the fan service gets a little uncomfortable. This is a little uncomfortable. But at least it's not like panties and bullshit and upskirt nonsense. Anyway, so you came back with saying if this was more commonly available, it would be a great watch party movie, which I don't disagree with. And I respond, John Con. This will be viewed at John Con. There's no question.
Yeah.
There's every reason to believe if I get a shot, and I better get a shot, or else there are going to be some roasters ain't getting started up for Starbucks this year. John Con is happening. To which you say, I'm pretty sure that MST3K crew would do a great job with this. Oh yeah, John Con. Now, they keep on referring to the time machine as the Quake engine. So I go with Quake engine. So this is a first-person shooter, thinking I was being clever. Yeah, and then you reminded me, it definitely seems like cutscenes pulled from a video game. You are absolutely correct. Now, at this point, I've been watching this train wreck happen in front of me for probably pretty close to an hour. Pretty close.
Not quite.
A little less than that. And I make the following statements. Boy, do I hate how they choose to portray Harley. Harley Quinn's in this one. She has literally never been done correctly. And Belinda and I had a debate about this morning. We'll get to this in a second. For fuck's sakes. So now we're going to play Ring Around the Team Up. And that's really what it is. All of a sudden, people start... This is the point I think that Bane shows up. Inexplicably.
Bane showed up earlier before Armored Batman.
Okay.
Right around Armored Batman. And now we're on the ship when Grodd and Batman have teamed up. And the Joker shows up with Two-Face, because Two-Face is apparently his bitch. And the ninjas come out of the submarine. Because, of course, there's a submarine in Japan filled with ninjas. I mean, who doesn't?
Bat ninjas.
And then Grodd, of course, double trashes everyone because Grodd.
Yeah. Yep. So, Belinda and I had to talk about this. Harley is an interesting character. Harley's backstory places her as being an insanely intelligent woman who, because of her fatal flaw of falling in love with the Joker, leads her down the path to ruin. And when I made this comment and when I started this, I was like, she should behave more intelligently. And when Belle and I talked about this morning, she made the comment, have you not ever done something ridiculously stupid for love? And I went, yes, I have. I consider myself to be a reasonably smart person. And there have been times, and in particular, the latter days of my time in Utah, when I found myself in a relationship that literally made no intellectual sense. It was stupid. It was diseased. And that, looking back upon that, I retract this because Harley has been, I don't think Harley's done well in this show, but I think that she has been done well in other shows. And I think that the Birds of Prey movie, which I think is universally panned, by most folks. The last Harley Quinn movie, I think she comes across stronger and starts to heal in that movie more than she does in some other things. So we can debate this, but I think that Harley is maybe not as egregiously misportrayed in the movies as she might otherwise be. John,
I think she's a little much in the Birds of Prey movie. I think in the Suicide Squad movie, especially the extended cut, I think she's probably as close to being portrayed okay in that. I think we're in the right actress. I think she can do it. I just think the material's got to be there for her. And I think that may be the downside of the Birds of Prey movie is the material was a little too batshit crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. She should act rationally but sociopathically.
And she did some there, but she was a little too Deadpool in that movie.
Yeah. And that's where that movie was headed to.
Steal Deadpool's shtick, and that they should not.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But I feel like they're on the right track. They can do it right.
Yep.
I feel like that's definitely true.
Okay. Back to this fucking movie. All right. And you agreed on Haley, on Harley. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. The mask. Wait. So there's a scene in this when things are not going well for the Bat. They're just not.
Yeah.
And
his technology's done. He's got no weapons and everything, and he's kind of being a split second of self-doubt.
This is the single worst. This is an inexcusable continuity issue. This is an animated fucking movie. They could have just looked at the other cells that had been rendered and not had this happen. But there's this like scene where the bat mask, it's broken. It's literally broken. No, excuse me. It's in one piece. It's in one piece.
It's like broken on the side. It's like broken on the side.
It is.
Yeah.
You backtrack 13 seconds, and it's in one piece. What the fuck? He broke it putting it on? Because it starts off in one piece and it goes to broken. Come on. Says and to which you respond, look, logic left the building as soon as you started. And I said, well, a little continuity would be expected, which you did not agree with, which you did not disagree with. So I went away for a little bit. So we had a gap in the time in the stream, and I go, I see now it's just blowing your mind, and in all reality, I go, I took some time off to play Crossout.
To be fair, that is about the point where you could have just been like, what the fuck is going on, and completely forgotten about your phone because of the craziness going on.
Yeah. And you go, I'm back. So, and then you go, lol. At which point I've responded back with, the art direction is so disjointed.
Because that is the Harley Joker scene with Red Robin. That is probably the worst scene in the movie because it is uncomfortable at points.
Yes.
When he's just beating him, you're like, oh, this is not okay.
There is a scene in this movie when there is a possibility that...
Oh, no, it's Black Mask. That's what it is. Or it's,
Red Mask.
Red Hood.
Red Hood, yeah. There's a possibility, and the art style during this scene is unlike anything we have seen so far in the movie.
And I think it makes it more uncomfortable because of the art style.
Yeah. And
if they were aiming for uncomfortable, fucking they hit.
Red Mask starts beating the fuck out of the Joker. And the Joker has no idea why he's doing this because...
Yeah, he's he and Harley seem like they're just farmers.
Yep. And they really want to make a life for themselves. And Batman shows up and calls off Red Hood, keeps him from basically killing him. Because Batman says if he doesn't remember, you can't punish him for it. He's lost his memory. Let him be in peace. And that could have been a poignant scene. But it wasn't.
It wasn't.
But it wasn't. Because the second they fucking turn their back, I'm the Joker.
They laid that too heavy. They should have left that out.
They should have.
Maybe make it kind of the laugh starting to go that way, but not full on. They went full on. You're like, I know it's coming.
Yeah. So, to which you respond, I'm sticking with cocaine as the answer. And it's a consistent. It's possible.
Yeah.
I laugh at that, but then I come back with, holy fuck, when did this become Mortal Engines / whatever the fuck this is? Once again, the Stampas have made an appearance again. Only this time, everybody's got a Stampa. Penguin's got a Stampa. Ivy's got a Stampa.
They all
Two-Face,
have
Deathstroke.
proper long Japanese sort of names for their Stampas, and boy, they cry it out when they're becoming Stampa. It's great.
It is classic, that style of anime. Wait for it, is your response. ... Wait for it. I said, I don't even know where to start anymore. This is the goddamnedest thing I've ever seen. Wait for it. Holy shit, it's Voltron. Almost there. There is a scene where Harley and the Joker are gesticulating all over the screen. And the only thing I could think of was, holy shit, they're Team Rocket.
Because
Pokemon.
at this point, like, Grodd has betrayed the other people because they have the Quake Engine parts to make their Stampas work. And he, of course, can control them because they have it nearby. He's apparently been influencing them the whole time. But then Joker and Harley come back and get the one-up on Grodd.
Yep. As Team Rocket. They're literally all the mannerisms you expect from Team Rocket. Dancing around, posing, the flipping of the hair, the whole 9 yards. It's all there.
And this is where my timeline gets skewed by about 5 minutes or so, maybe 10.
Yep. So you loll. I go honest to fuck.
And I thought there it was. I thought you got to the point.
Yep. The power of monkeys. And I had not gotten there yet.
Not yet.
I was going through flashbacks from Gurren Lagann. Now, if you haven't watched Gurren Lagann as an anime, I highly recommend it. Gurren Lagann is really good giant robot anime. Lots of it, interesting, engaging characters. Consistent art style. And you realize your error in going the power of monkeys. Shit, you got at least 20 minutes left. And then I go lol. The monkey pipe.
The monkey pipe. Grodd gives Batman the monkey pipe because, Batman saved his life when Joker kicked him out of his own castle. Because Batman saves lives.
The monkey pipe is a flute / recorder
that can control monkeys.
It can control monkeys somehow.
And of course, at this point, Robin, who has, of course, Monchi as his buddy for no explainable reason.
Monchi was a toy in the 80s, and it's in this movie. So Monchi, you're a friend.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yep.
It's like, can you lend us the flute? So Robin starts playing it, but he's not fully playing it. He's just blowing on it, and Monchi's over the holes summoning the monkey.
That's right. It's a 2-person monkey summoner.
Oh, Jesus.
You reply, oh, shit, you're just reaching monkey time. I was a couple minutes off. To which I reply, that's a lot of monkeys. No fucking way. Monkey ladders.
Monkey ladders?
They start forming ladders out of monkeys. There's so many monkeys, the monkeys have become building material.
Armored monkeys.
Armored, that's correct. That's very critical. They are armored monkeys. I go, almost there, is what you say? And then it happens, John. And then I get to that point in the show. I go, wait. What the fuck am I looking at? You go, lol. My response at this point has to be read one after another, and then we will discuss. Monkey Sackboy, their combined spirit, Bat Monkeys, oh, for fuck's sakes, what? So, Monchi and his girlfriend at this point are now getting after it on the monkey pipe. And they have formed the armored monkeys into a Stampa-sized If you've not seen Sackboy from the Little Big Planet series of video games from PlayStation, look it up right now. Pause the show and then look at it. That was made out of monkeys.
Out of monkeys. Just
And lots and lots of monkeys. Lots and lots of monkeys. And their combined spirit.
their combined spirit.
Yeah. And then the monkeys started to fail.
They did.
But what the Joker wasn't expecting was bat monkeys. There was going to be bats because there had to be bats, and they filled in the holes. And Monkey Sackboy was whole again, and then it was on. Then it was on.
Batman.
It turned into Batman.
Cocaine.
Somehow.
Cocaine.
Sometime. And then you wrote, if I were writing a blog review, that would be the title. Oh, for fuck's sake, what? To which I respond, I've never ... What the fuck? You reply, you respond back, lol. To which I say, I quote an actual line in the movie.
Yep.
I hypnotized myself to believe I was someone else.
Yep. Joker said that.
I hypnotized myself to believe I was someone else. Some fucking tiger blood right there. I'm going to tell you what. See earlier comment on logic is your response to that. Now, once again, I move to quote the show again. Might be the most fan service quote I've ever heard in an anime, and that's a thing.
Yes.
That's a
thing. Because now it's
thing.
breaking down into single. They've assaulted the giant Voltron Stomp a Fortress with Monkey and Monkey Batman
thing.
Power.
Yeah.
And
Spirit
now it's going into a bunch of individual fights.
You're right. Now it's becoming individual fights. And the fight that is about to break loose is Harley versus Catwoman. Okay? 'Cause Catwoman and her aforementioned Tatas are Airsat's good guys in this show because she's got a hard on for the bat.
Yeah, she betrayed him before, but decided, hey, this is the only way they're going to win, and she just wants to go home.
She does want to. To which Harley says the following: "Time for some girl-on-girl action." That is literally the two of the more fan-servicey characters in this entire show just said that. And
Yep.
I said, I cannot believe they just said that. To which you say, yeah, that was a what the fuck for me. Which is saying something for this movie. Yep.
I didn't notice it the first time through. The second time through, it really stood out, which is, again, saying something.
Yeah. So, at some point I make the comment, because Monkey Force 1 didn't do that for you, which I have to believe has something to do with after the Batman Stompa battle, there was more monkeys, and it says, oh no, once the one monkey showed up, I had an inkling more were on the way. To which I give it a thumbs up. And then I make probably the most insightful comment of the entire stream. At what point do you think DC no longer gave a fuck for what Batman actually stood for? Because at some point they did.
Yeah.
At some point, once upon a time, Batman was just the greatest detective ever. It was Sherlock Holmes in a cape.
And it was even okay during Batman the Animated Series where it became Sherlock Holmes plus ninja training.
Right.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
That was literally the last time Batman was okay.
Very much.
And then you struck it on the head, which is something I'd suspected. It was as soon as Marvel started hitting it big. Then Batman started to stand for money. And I think you're right. Once Marvel showed that you could take Iron Man and turn him into the central point of an entire franchise, It was
I'm
like,
pretty sure it was Avengers. Avengers did it. 'Cause this is pretty sure this is post Avengers. I'm pretty sure Avengers is when they were like, "Oh, holy shit, we need to get ourselves some of that money," and they
yeah,
realized they had no idea how they were gonna do that because their only Batman at that point was the Dark Knight came out at the same time as Iron Man, and then they realized that's not gonna fit in that universe. They can't
yeah,
do anything with that because Christopher Nolan made a separate thing.
yep. And I said, I think you're right. And I go, oh, come on. I mean, if a bunch of bats and a bunch of monkeys can make a giant robot, why not? My last comment for the entire show was, Jesus fuck. Followed by lol again, you're welcome. So, that was the entire stream of our conversation during the movie that was Ninja Batman. And I will tell you, I'm going to give this 3 shots of Kraken. And I will give it...
I'd say 3 or 4. It doesn't matter which one you give it, but you should fucking watch it.
Absolutely. This movie has charm. It really does. It is an exercise in what the fuck is coming next.
It's the epitome of, it's not a good movie, but it's a great movie.
It is entertaining.
Yes.
The movie is... It's a fever dream.
Get your friends together, throw it on. You can in-person MST3K that and not feel bad because you ain't hurting its feelings. It don't care about you.
It has every
Do its
ounce.
thing.
It has every ounce the charm of Turkish Star Wars.
It does.
It
It is very much like Turkish Star Wars style.
it is charming, and where this has way more budget, but I promise you, the people that worked on this cared about it as much as the Turkish Star Wars people did.
Yeah.
And
It's just inherently anime crazy. I think at a point they realized, well, our coherent movie is a little too short, and they're like, just fucking go wild.
woohoo! Yeah, I mean, I respect that. And
Yeah.
you compare, like, let's compare this to some of our classic 5 shots of Kraken movies, like Atlantic Rim. Atlantic
this is-
Rim, there is more love in the first 5 minutes of Ninja Batman than there is in the entire movie of Atlantic Rim.
The most uncomfortable scene in Ninja Batman, that point where Red Hood is kicking the crap out of Joker and Harley thinking they're farmers, is more entertaining than the entirety of Atlantic Rim.
Oh my God, yes. If you took all of the entertainment of Atlantic Rim and shoved it together, it would be like a second and a half long to get the first minute of Ninja Batman. There is... we talk about the disjointed nature of the art direction. But every art direction they do is interesting and good to look at.
And they do it at good breaking points. They're like, oh, we're at a good point. Let's switch it up.
Right. So let's explain why it's 3 shots of Kraken or more. It's because there is a certain wave that this movie brings over you as you're watching it. It is never dull. It is super well paced for being as just fucked up as it is. It is consistently providing you with another experience, and you have no fucking idea where they're heading next. It is there's
even our description of it can't bring it justice. You have to see it. You're like, I know what happens. No, you don't.
no
You do not.
no. It's super fun. I will heartily. I'm a little dry in the throat right now from talking so much, but I highly recommend this. This might be my most highly recommended 3 shot of Kraken movie ever.
Oh, absolutely. This is watchable. You should see it. Like
I'd watch
every
it again.
good bad movie is. Like it's like Ice Pirates or like freaking the Turkish Star Wars. Any of those, you should see this because it's a thing that happened.
Yeah, it's got
Like someone thought of this and put this shit and people drew this shit.
drew this
And
shit.
then you're like, whoa,
No.
wait, we're on this?
No, this
Really?
is not Sharknado. This is not
No,
Sharknado.
No, Sharknado is further down the list, like
Yeah,
4.5.
Sharknado is much worse than this, and it's it is far less cynical than Sharknado is, but
Yeah, because at the end of the day, this movie still loves Batman and his characters, and even if it just paints them with a really wide paintbrush, it's like there's poison ivy, plants, penguin stuff,
Yep.
Deathstroke, guns and all. It's okay. I mean, it gets the broad strokes apart.
yeah, it's the it is it is worth watching, if only for the sometimes the way that they draw Joker is really well animated in this movie.
Oh yeah, the people drawing Joker were like, oh, I know what he wants, what he should look like, and I'm going for it.
It's really well drawn. I mean, of all the characters, he is given a lot of love by whoever drew him. I mean, as disjointed as the art styles are, Joker is consistently just like really well done.
Yeah.
I would not say that of other characters. I think that Harley and Catwoman and um, fucking name any female character in this show, and it's Ivy is
I'd actually say even the villains are actually drawn better than the heroes.
Yeah.
Robin's got a weird haircut for no reason at all.
Well, he's almost got like a Dragon Ball Z haircut or some shit. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on with that, but the villain. I mean, I'd agree with that. Penguin is one of the more interesting penguins I've ever seen for as little time as he spends on the screen. Two-Face is really interestingly drawn. But Bane's hilarious for all 4.5 seconds he's on the screen.
Yeah, both seconds he's there.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to give this 3 shots of Kraken, but it is a loving 3 shots of Kraken. It is far and away my favorite 3 shot of Kraken movie we've ever reviewed.
Yeah, when my buddies were like, John, you got to see this, and I finally saw it, I'm like, all right, you're right. You have to see this. I can't say that I like it, but it was hilarious. It was a hoot to watch. And
Yep.
I mean, I've seen it twice now. I have a DVD copy. I mean, I sent a DVD copy to Kathy.
Yep.
Kathy Wapple, because she had to see it. It's crazy.
It's delightful. It really is. All right, kids. That's all we're going to do for tonight. It is our 90 minutes are up here on the Painting with Men with John Wednesday Night Extravaganza. We did a 45-minute review of Ninja Batman.
And it's one of those movies you could see like someone putting a 2-hour review on YouTube, and you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, who knew it was possible? Who knew it was possible? And we
Cocaine.
did. We did.
Cocaine.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. All right, on behalf of the mighty right hand of the podcast, you know him, you love him. He's Mr. John Spencer. Of course, I'm Benoth John. And we will see you in 2 weeks for this show, or next week at this timeline. Tune in for the Mothership podcast and see what's going on as our intrepid adventurers are being pulled down to that moon. Think they're going to have a good time? I don't. And I'm running
Depends
the
if Joker's
game.
there or not.
I see what you did there. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Night.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Which one should I... Here we go. We'll do that. We'll do this screen. Good night, everybody.
Push the button, Frank.
Monchichi, you're a friend of you and me. Monchichi. Yada, yada, yada.
Robin and a monkey. Fuck.